Hello, my name is Cars82 and welcome back to my Gregtech New Horizons series. I am just crafting up 2 more ender tanks here. Man, do I love having that. I wish I had done it earlier, to be honest. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to craft up the couple ender tanks. I have also, to get through this door, crafted up a EV solar panel that took a little bit of time. But most of it is already, it's all auto crafting, pretty much. The irradiant plates are a bit annoying. I didn't get absolutely everything automated with those, and the wires, I haven't got those. So that was kind of like the longest amount of time. But the reason I did that is because I have cleared out my whole oil tank. So I think I'm going to move this and we'll put it over in the heavy oil field. So we can just go ahead and break this down. I think this is a, yeah, that's a 16. Now I'm gonna do a 32. I crafted one of those up because they're actually pretty easy. And I guess I'll just fall down like that. Yeah, the question is, where do I want to put this tank, actually? Right there. I don't really like that location. Although that one's kind of using it. Nah, I'll just throw it back down here, I guess. How about, like, right there? I have room for a couple channels there. Yeah, so we'll place it right here, and then I will move the whole to that. Yeah, that's up there. Where did you go? Oh, I got it. All right, so let's go ahead and break this all down, and I'll meet you over on the oil field once I get this all set back up again. All right, I think I got everything. I put it together and realized I left a couple things, so I had to go back to the base. But I think we're good now. Now, I place this here. We look at the oil prospector thing. I'm in a heavy oil field. Now, I'm not sure how this is going to work. I don't know if I need to like chunk load the whole thing, or will it work if it's in this one? Or I know because it should do the entire oil field. It's not going to like pull from here, here, and here. It's just going to pull from this oil field. If I am correct in how these work. Now I have a solar panel here, the EV solar panel. We got an EV energy hatch. So I'm assuming, actually, now that I'm thinking about this, these end up losing power after a while. Should I? Maybe I should have just crafted it up. But that's another battery. We'll do that. And this should be getting power. Yeah, so it's getting power. Question is, does it work with glass over it? That I would like to know. So let's go ahead and get this going. We'll drink. It's going actually really fast. I don't remember that one going that fast. All right, but it does appear to be getting, yeah, it's getting power through the glass. So that's good. I'll just do that. Just to stop rain. And oh, there that goes. Is it? I don't know if it's emptying out fast enough. No, it's not. Yeah, that's gonna start voiding, I think. Okay, so I need to get that out of They're faster, it looks like. Let's head back and thought that would have. Yeah, I assume that would have emptied out fast enough. I wonder if I can do like an Ender IO conduit. No, not an Ender IO conduit. It would have to be I don't know. Let's just try this and see what happens here. What is this? All right, we'll just try that. As we can see, this can do 640. This can only transfer. Actually, no, because these can transfer. They only do half. Do I even have one? There we go. Let's just see if this will pull out from the side, I guess. I don't know if they do that. I think they do. Okay, it did attach, which... that's a good sign. So if we do that... Alright, so import. Let's go see if that actually... we'll see if that actually does anything. Now, I don't know if this is this too far? This might need a chunk load too, that's another thing. Don't quite know the distance. Doesn't look like... Alright, so once this... oh, it's pulling 9,000. Alright, so it's pulling 9,000. And that's... yeah, that's struggling. Man, this is... holy cow, is this... I underestimated the amount of oil that was going to be pumped from this machine. Okay, it definitely feels like it's being pumped out faster. So I think I can just increase that pump and yeah. Basically, I'm just going to be going back and forth and seeing like until we get this right. I guess we'll use a bigger pump and better pipes. I think 10,000 liters a second would be fine. Although we need better pipes, but I do have these small head pressure pipes. Do I have a pump on one of these? Why aren't they stacking? Oh, look at that, I already have a pump on one. Or is that a fluid alert? That might be a fluid regulator. I don't know what that is. Yeah, fluid regulator. That's not what we need. Alright, lots of platinum. Finally reached that vein. Alright, so let me fiddle around with this a bit and we'll come back. Alright, so there we go. The HV pump is pumping it out fast enough. So that's good to know. Now, if we look at that, it's pulling out 9,173. Let's go back to the base and see what happens with this running. I haven't had this running while in the base, so we'll see. Is it going to turn off, or is it still going to be running, or what are we going to be doing? Is it? It does look like it's pulling out the 9,000 ish. It's kind of hard to see. Yeah, it looks like it's pulling out the 9,000. I don't know if there's any way to like test that. I'm just curious, like, well, now we know it's in range, so I don't need a chunk loader, and it looks like it's pulling from the whole vein, even though that whole thing is probably not in... the whole thing's probably not in range or whatever. Or chunk loaded, I think, right? I don't know. We'll let that run, and then I'll go check the oil vein, and we'll see if it's pulling from the whole thing. So I want this set up, because there's no way I'm going to be able to go through all this fast enough. I remember we don't need one. Wish this thing wasn't so fiddly. Like that whole thing, like that is just silly. All right, so there we go. Although it does, I don't know. Is that going up? Yeah, it's going up. I don't know. We'll see. Oh wait, did it turn off? It looks like it just turned off. Did it turn off? All right, so it looks like it may have just been... Oh wait, no, it's getting dark. All right, so it's going to do that because of the solar panel, of course. So now it's dark, it's not getting power, which is fine. Because there's no way we're going to be able to go through all that much oil. So that actually worked out better than I was planning. But I do need to switch this now. So we're going to switch this to heavy oil and switch that to heavy oil. And we need to get rid of that. Right, and throw the storage bus on the side of this. That. And there it goes. Okay, so now it's pulling out of there. And I think we should be good now. Now this will be getting a whole lot more heavy fuel, which is kind of what we are lacking at the moment. All right, anyway, let me cut here and figure out what I want to do for the rest of this episode. All right, we are back in base, and looks like I'm already up to 12 million or 12,000 buckets of oil, and my high octane gasoline has gone way up, and all sorts of stuff. Now, I started getting some bad lag again. My FPS was dropping, and I've actually, I think it's not actually the Gregtech machines that are doing it. It's actually the fluid cells for AE2, and I had a feeling that might be it, but yeah, so I don't really have any lag right now. Actually turn this on. See, I have 80 FPS. If I turn this on, and there we go, it starts dropping. And I think it's because it's pulling out like small amounts like that. Yeah, look, now I'm dropping down to the 30s. And I think it is this, that it's pulling stuff in and then immediately putting it back out. So it's filling and emptying like over and over and over again. So I think that is the problem. So like when the whole like system would turn on, we'd start getting some crazy lag. But if I turn that off and everything kind of turns off, it goes back up again. So yeah, that's a bit of a problem with the AE system now that, see, now it's not like jumping back and forth, because I am using AE to transport fluids all over the base. So I could rearrange this a bit. Instead of relying so much on A to move things, like it's fine for stuff that's not flickering, I guess. I don't know if that's the right term, but that's not going in permanently. Like if it's transferring me here into a storage tank, that's not uh like a good way to do it. I'm kind of like learning. So what I can do instead of the way I'm doing it is actually just directly input the fluids into my chemical reactor, like do pipes. But then again, having 50,000 like what am I trying to say? 50,000 Gregtech pipes all over the place is not exactly the best thing either. But there are definitely like ways to do this. Like instead of having this back here, have them over here, so I can just kind of like go right in. But we are kind of good for now on, yeah, see, now we're smooth again. I'm only down to 100 buckets. Yeah, the backlog right now is the the oil cracker. But anyway, I'm just gonna kind of leave that to run. I mean, we have tons of gasoline right now. I'll let that drop and then maybe run the distillery again and figure that out. But anyway, so I've been smelting up superconductor base. I'm up to 700. It is definitely taking a long time. And there is actually a way to speed this up. Now we do have the blast furnace, which works really well. I expanded it because I did wanted to see how the like sharing the walls works, and what I am actually thinking about doing, basically just using it for super long smelting recipes. So like iron and titanium only take a couple seconds. I'll probably just do that in the blast furnaces. But there is actually another one, and it's a if I can remember how to spell it. Yep, the Volcanus. But this one needs blazing pyrotheum to run. And let's take a look at the recipe. IV, another alloy. There's so many alloys. ZPM we can do, IV, computer monitor, data orbs, molten. Yeah, this is all doable. So I think I want to go ahead and craft this because this can do multiple things at once. So those machines are doing one at a time, whereas this can do, I think 4 at a time it does, or 8? It does 8 at a time. So this is drastically going to speed up my superconducting, because I need around 2,000 ingots if I want to craft the fusion reactor, which is kind of the goal. All right, so let me... Well, first we need blazing pyrotheum. Let's take a look at that. Blazing pyrotheum. Right here. Let's see if I can figure out. I think it's a fluid extractor. Right, here it is. So pyrotheum dust and a fluid extractor, and you can get it from Combs, which is kind of cool. Only 20% chance though. But this is how you make it. So mixer with blaze powder, coal dust, sulfur, and redstone. Why don't we go ahead and get a recipe for that. So that is super easy. Coal dust. Let's say sulfur, which I have thousands of. Redstone have thousands of, although that is dropped quite a bit. I used to have like 10,000. And blaze powder. Now I do have blaze rods. I have gone ahead and increased the number. I think I have about 7 or 8 now of the blaze reeds. Not blaze reeds. I just read some more, which are easy enough to get. Yeah. The blaze Just random thought. I'm like, I'd never put anything underneath those. It doesn't need that, right? No, it doesn't need anything underneath. For a second, I was like, are those just not growing? We'll do that, and then pyrotheum. Yeah, it doesn't need a thing, so that's cool. Hopefully there is, actually. I should have a door over here. I've been meaning to do that, but iron doors are so annoying to make. I should have a door right there. Yeah, I'll just throw that in there and see what happens. Does it make it? Yes, no? Yep, there it goes. Perfect. All right. So that is one blazing pyrotheum. Now this goes through it relatively fast. It's not too bad. I did some testing, kind of see what we're kind of looking at with the how fast I need to. Oh, you take damage if this is in your inventory, apparently, which makes sense. It's super hot. I guess we'll throw it in there. Do we have room in here? No. There's one. Not that this really matters, because I don't think it cares where the circuits are. Alright, so let's put this back in there. So, blazing pyrotheum dust, and then we can just extract that with an HV extractor. See, now this is kind of what I'm thinking with the ME system. Like, I could do it the same as I have over here. But if it's constantly going in and out of the AE system, is that going to cause... Yeah, see, is that going to cause problems? I mean, technically I should do... I could... Yeah. I don't think it's going to be going that fast with that, I don't think. I don't know. I got to do some testing, kind of, and see... kind of see what lags and what doesn't. The distillation tower, though, definitely lags. And I think it's because it's pulling 4 fluids into the A system that aren't in drives. It's basically in and out of the drives that I think is causing the problem. There's quite a lot of bugs with this mod. It's not my favorite, for sure. I also need... Oops. I'm going to throw a bunch of titanium in my blast furnaces while I'm doing other stuff, so I can craft more diesel engines, I think. Yeah, so this is only 5 seconds. I mean, that's pretty fast. That's going to drain that quite a bit, though. Anyway, yeah, so fluid extractor. And then I guess ME import, not ME import, ME export. The crafting. Yeah, or we do... I'm just kind of curious, it would be better to actually have the fluid stored in the storage drives. Would that be better than having a storage bus on the machine? That's kind of where I need to do a bit of testing. Which would kind of suck, because my whole base is kind of built around having these machines be the storage tank as opposed to the cells. But I don't know, maybe we will end up changing that. Let's pull that pyrotheum out again. I mean, it doesn't like fry you to death, but let's see. No channels over here. Need 2 channels. Not gonna go in there. I don't remember what. I think I have like 7 or 8 channels left on this one. Oh, I could put it on here. With my helium. Just curious what we're up to with my helium. Yeah, 14,000, 60 something thousand, 60 buckets of helium just from that super slow process, which works for me. Why don't we do that on the back? Yeah, I'm definitely thinking this is probably not a good idea. But I don't know. We'll test it out. Oops. It's really the ones. The problem I was having with the other one was because it was pulling out small amounts for multiple machines all at once, whereas I feel like this might not be quite as bad. But we shall see. Got to grab my electron cables. Yeah, definitely my frame rates have deteriorated for sure. All right, so there, that's just gonna do that. And it's 250 each. So I mean, that's not. I mean, it's okay. It's nothing crazy. But anyway, we'll just let that work. It'll craft up the stuff that we need here. Or it should be just going through the mixer. Yeah. It's just crafting. Looks like it's just doing one at a time. I could change that recipe. Instead of having one, do like 16 at a time, maybe. That would, maybe, actually, let's do that. Let's change this recipe. Okay, why aren't you working? Why? Pull that out. Let's just change this and tell it to do multiple at once. So how about we do, let's just tell it to do 16 at once. The only problem with this though is, it's not what I want to do. If we tell it to do this and I only want, for some reason, if I only want to craft one at a time, like, that's not going to work. It would have to craft 16 at a time because that's the only thing it knows, but I don't think we're going to be crafting this often. All right, let's try that. Let's do dust. There it is. Should, yep. All right, so there it's going to do 16 at once. That's just, holy cow, it did it all at once. All right, but that will just, as long as, I'm just trying to not have machines turning on and off kind of constantly. Wonder why, is it just, it speeds up, right? It may be slow pulling out. Anyway, we will, let's, now that we got the blazing pyrotheum, there it is. So why is that like white? Why isn't it orange? Like, that is annoying. Anyway. Yeah, so what are we looking at this? So haste alloy, everything else is fine. These are also haste ally. Now these are a bit annoying. I could, because we're gonna need a bunch of these. Well, not that many. At least 9, probably about 13. But I have these all auto crafting, I think. So let's take a look at the haste alloy. Iron, cobalt, nickel, chrome, molybdenum. Not too bad. All right, but that's about wrapping up for this episode. I'm going to go ahead and craft up some more of these components, and we'll see. Yeah, just noticed that's 8. I didn't see the 8 there before. Yeah, that's fine. Just that's a lot of platinum though. Was that 8 platinum? Yeah, it's not too bad though. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and craft up some of this stuff in between episodes, and curious what this is doing. I did notice that this had turned off a couple times, so right now it's producing 6,000 EU per tick, as we can see. But sometimes it does turn off, and I have seen it up over 9,000 before. So it's variables, it varies, but it's still kind of passive gen here. I guess I should, yeah, there comes the sun anyway. Yeah, all right, so I feel like we're doing pretty well here, working towards the fusion reactor. Next episode, we'll come back, build this multi-block, and see how it goes. And the last thing before I wrap up this episode here, I think I want to think about possibly moving my base to like a void dimension for like late game stuff, just because these things are getting so complicated, and as we can see, I'm struggling a bit. And I mean, right now we're at 80 FPS, but I have a lot of stuff turned off specifically to help with that, and I turned down my render distance a bit just to help. So yeah, I think I want to move my base to a void dimension and kind of build from the ground up, like a well-designed everything, not just strewn about and organically grown and this all chaos. I want to get it like really well kind of built. And I think when we build our fusion reactor, that is a good time to kind of look into doing that. And we have 2 options here. Either a void dimension or a garden dimension. So yeah, if you want to leave a comment and say which one you want me to go to. I have one that I'm kind of leaning towards. But any feedback on that, just let me know what is your preference. So void dimension is like an all black world, like a night. It's not night, but there is like no sky. It's a dark world. It's sunny. It's sunny all the time. But it's like a black sky. And then the garden world is just like a flat plains biome. That's sunny all the time with a regular sky. But yeah. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. So thanks for watching and have a good one.